the ground.
There we go.
Here we go. We're headed to Miami.
And there isn't room for...
Miami will never be the same. Those outstanding warrants. I think they've expired.
It's only 10 minutes to 7. We're like 4 hours behind schedule here.
Hey,
Okay.
Dave. We love you. We're not coming back because we're going to be discovered in Miami Beach. And we're going to become millionaires, own jewelry stores, and Department 56.
Well, buy a lot of tickets before 10 o'clock tonight then,
All
okay?
right.
Okay, girls, here we are in South Beach. What have you got to say?
Beach. Hi.
We're starting our sister tour right now. We've just been kind of goofing off and relaxing initially. And so here's the beach back here. Ta-da! So unfortunately they've put these sand dunes in front of the beach. And this used to all be blank and we could see the beach perfectly from the hotels. And over here, we believe was probably where our hotel used to be, but they've knocked that down obviously and built a high-rise here. And there is a few old hotels left here on the beach, but again, looks like they're trying to take over as much as possible and build high-rises. Wait, now Nancy, hi.
Hi.
Here we are, we're at the bar, cooling off, and at South Beach. This is where we used to hang out before this was so fancy. And this used to be approximately where the dog track was and where we used to park our cars. Now it's a real fancy place. And we'll show you some other stuff later, but it's got a beautiful patio here.
Sorry, it's just I had to get the glasses on. Here
Okay.
we are.
So,
Cheers.
We're the queens of the beach.
yes, here we are.
It's in our carriage.
And here we are at Nikki's, and in the patio area, and you get to sit up here on these beds and relax, or you could take a little teepee, or just take some beds out here in the sun and relax. And then over in this direction, you just go over the sand dunes and you'd be at the beach. Here's Peggy getting a little, getting out of the sun for a little while in her little teepee here. And they have a really nice buffet here on Sunday morning, so we were hungry enough we would have eaten here. Okay, there's where we've been just now on the beach at Nikki's Beach, and here are the girls looking refreshed after their drink, but I don't think it's going to last too long. And this is Penrod's, where we just were, where they used to have the park next to South Beach. And here are the high-rises that have taken over South Beach. Here we are on 36th Street, and this is where my father's roofing company used to be many years ago. Used to have windows over there, but they've been concreted up. And this is looking down 36th Street. And here's the side of the building here. And then over here across the street was another building where they stored all their trucks and equipment. Well, here's Peggy and Nancy trying to get killed in Liberty City. Okay, here we are in front of grandmother's old house here, where we used to hang out a whole lot as kids. They'd probably think that we're Jehovah's Witnesses. Here are the girls. And this was where Nancy was born, at Jackson Memorial Hospital. Go ahead.
Here's where I was born. Woo-hoo! 44 years ago. Here came Nancy.
So this is 800 Northwest 27th Avenue, where my mother's shop was. And here are the girls in front of the shop. Now it's no longer, it used to be my mother's shop and a bait and tackle shop. And now it's Enrique's bicycle shop. Okay, here are the girls in front of an Eckerd's, which used to be where we used to get our pastries at a great Cuban bakery called Grosse Pointe. And it's on the corner of 27th Avenue and Northwest 7th Street. And here's our house on 27th Court. And so this is the house that Daddy built. Not really too much different. It looks pretty good, except we used to have a tree lawn and more grass in the front. So I'm standing in front of the house, and this is where the DeMarcos lived. And down here was the Atkins. And then one house over here, this house here, this beige house down here, was where the Sweeneys lived. And this is Mrs. Feo's house, who was right next door to our house here. And on the other side of Mrs. Feo's house was Mr. LeDuc's house. And that's where we used to go swimming. Back here behind that fence was a pool, and we used to swim there and get swimming lessons during the summer. The woman who owns the house, and she invited us inside the house to look at the inside, and our Florida room is exactly as it was.
If you have to, otherwise you
Kid all the time.
Our Christmas tree used to be right in that corner. And then
And here we are in front of Miami-Dade County Auditorium. And this is where we went to a lot of plays, concerts. I had my high school graduation there. Now Debbie also graduated from high school here and also did her confirmation here, as did Peggy. And here we are in front of St. Michael's the Archangel Church. And this is St. Michael the Archangel. And here's the front of the church. And it was a pretty big church. They tried to make it look... It was a pretty big church. They tried to make it look impressive enough because it was sitting next to the auditorium, which was right next door, which is very large. And here we are on the inside of the church. And this is the pulpit where Mother paid for out of her grocery money for 2 years. We're inside the church, and these are the benefactors that helped build the church. This is George Dunn, the father of a friend of Peggy's. And here's Mom's name here on the plaque of benefactors for the church. Here's Nancy trying to take pictures close up.
Standing on the pew, sorry God.
And here's a plaque outside the church. It finally got built. It took a couple years to collect enough money to do it. And this is the rectory where, that's right next to the church. This is where the priests stay, and where Mother got the wall unit from that Nancy inherited, the envy of all the sisters. So here's a church, and the driveway where you get dropped off if you were getting married. This is one of the many bus benches, especially this one that I'd sat on to catch the bus to go see my friends. And now we're off to go to the school, just drive by. We're probably going to come back when they're in session, but we're just going to stop by today. Right now I'm in the little church, and after they built the big church, they turned this into sort of a little event hall for receptions and things. And over the top is a picture of Father Philbin, who really is very instrumental in founding this parish. And this is the inside of what used to be the church, where I made my first communion and my confirmation and graduated from grade school. And also all the Debbie and Peggy and Nancy all made their communions here. what's amazing is so much of it's the same, including the roof and the same lights that were there for over about 50 years now. And across from the church is our house. You can see the back of it right here. So we didn't have too far to run across the parking lot. And this is the parking lot is behind Miami-Dade County Auditorium where we were before. And this is a pretty large parking lot to accommodate the auditorium. And there go the girls in search of. And this is the outside of the church here. You can see it wasn't too big. And this is the back of the church, or the side, towards the sides in the back of the church. Used to have a little bit more of a garden area around this area with lots of trees and grass and fountains and things, benches and things. It was much nicer. And here we are in the back of the school and looking at some of the playground, which was pretty extensive back here. And then we had the basketball court. And this looks like portables that probably are taking up a lot of the courtyard, which also used to be open to play in. And we're at the back of the school right now. And this is the gate in the back of the school, SMA, St. Michael's Archangel. And back in my day, they didn't have to gate off the school. Now we're in the front of the school, and as opposed to in the past, Peggy and Debbie are actually trying to get into the school.
Oh, shit. Shoot.
Nancy, don't curse in front of the school. The nuns will come out and get you.
Shoot.
So here we are in front of the school, and that's the Archangel and the entry doors. And here we are taking a view of the school here. Here are the girls sharing some memories. And under some of the old trees that have been here since we were there. And now we're up on Northwest 7th Street. And this is Kensington Grade School, which we used to go to for summer and spend like summer day camp up here. And behind here is what used to be the library. The jewelry store and the bakery used to be a library. Nancy's trying to cross the street, and she says she hasn't used a cross signal in years. This is where I had my first job, which this place used to actually be McCory's drugstore, or actually a five and dime store. And then pretty much next door over here, this used to be a Grand Union, but now it's a Winn-Dixie. And that's where I had my second job. And this is the rest of Central Shopping Center, where we used to spend a lot of time, go shopping, different stores, but had a good time here. Well, the airplanes are still as loud as they used to be.
Our daughters went to school together, all through elementary
And you know who I thought your mama looked like? Lucille Ball.
Oh, we all did too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every time we watch the show, my husband would go, "There's your mom, there's your mom."
Is she gorgeous though? Oh my God, what a talent. And none of y'all have that, I suppose.
No.
Now, you're...
Mommy was in the Marines.
The discharge papers. And this is her discharge papers. My oldest son went into the Marines, and he was getting ready to go and get out. And I sent him that as a spirit that Mom was watching over him. He graduated 55.
Oh, and she didn't want me going. Oh my God! Now this is the old building. See, this is what I remember. Yeah, it was a carport. That's what I was thinking. And then there was this room. Was that the laundry room?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
No, I don't know why. It's just because Boy is Buddy's so happy.
Oh,
loved
He loved Boy.
and that dog knew it.
Yes.
That dog knew it. Now what?
Mom.
Look at this.
The one getting married is Yeah, that's Virginia and Uncle Leo. And that's Jeannie. Oh no, that's Barbara. No, that's Barbara. Barbara and Uncle Leo. Barbara and Uncle Leo got married together. Barbara and Uncle Leo. Let's hope. Barbara and Uncle Leo. And that is Jeannie. Or could that be Virginia? That might be Virginia. I think that's Virginia. Okay, I'm sorry, Virginia and Mom and Dad. That's, we don't know who this person is. This might be Virginia's husband, but we're not sure. And that's great, and that's Mother's father.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's my mother's father.
She must have looked like the mom. I don't see no resemblance.
She kind of didn't really
The
look
only
that much
picture I
like.
have is later on in years. These are all the grave sites of my mom's side of the family.
This is her brother Donald. That we went up there. And what year was this?
I went up there in 2000. And then that's my grandmother.
And she's actually holding Peggy's baby. That was her first great grandchild.
And how old was she then?
Pretty old.
84, I think she died. She was 84.
She died in like 85.
She died in 81.
But
She died in
Peggy,
81. She died.
I think she was like
6 days-
85 years old though.
Well, I said she was 84, but okay.
83.
85.
83.
Oh, 83?
83.
Okay. Well, it's on the death certificate, so maybe
Okay, well,
yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
more.
So she was 83, so
My uncle
But
took
Peggy-
Casey around and to all the places Mom lived and went to school and churches, and I did them all in black and white.
Oh my
Peggy
God,
was
that
a
you did.
couple of months. She's probably 3 months old there, and then she died 6 days after Amanda was born. So she actually had 2 great grandchildren. But I mean, at least on this side, I don't know if any of the other cousins had anything in between.
I don't think so. They were all much younger than her, or they got married much later.
University of Miami, 1930s, in Bayfront Park.
It's like, not, I think 10
Now,
maybe. I think that's all there is
$50,000
now.
Nothing.
10 cents.
And you're
10
right,
cents.
and it's all about perception,
I
you
can
know?
remember having a vacuum.
But, you know, I
vacuum all
imagine-
these steps.
When I walked into,
I mean, I was
I remember y'all having it cut up, your bedroom cut up or something?
And you walk in and you
No,
see.
all the women lived upstairs.
You mean my bedroom
We all
was
lived
that
upstairs.
small?
It was 3 bedrooms
Oh,
upstairs.
I think
Y'all in one bedroom. Y'all were sleeping on bunk beds or beds that had dividing something.
The only time I saw Judy back away, she come in one day, you know, we were gonna have what we have, a Christmas party.
Started to wear the one hoop for Mom's sake, because I mean, every day I go, put earrings on, put earrings on. She goes to college. Every time she comes home for a break, she has something new pierced. Okay, so she's
That's a
got.
sore subject around this house.
Okay. She's got a double hole now. First, you know, she had the originals, then she has a double, now she has the upper. She has the belly button, and now she just came home with a nose ring.
Yeah, I come home to that and he goes,
So I'm crying.
Oh, we had noticed that one, Nancy.
And so I go along and I hear the sweeping and I'm like, hello, hello. And the lady opens the gate and I said, hi. And I'm like, my name. And I told her the whole story and she goes, well, the next time you're in the Keys, come by and I'll let you in. And I stood there for a second and we've been drinking, driving, and I'm like,
what's
but
wrong
I'm
now?
already here.
What's wrong with now?
So she says, well, come around front, and, you know, you can come in and I'll take you around. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And so we get there and we come around the front and I'm like, can my friends come in too? Well, here, she's a lesbian. And so here's her girlfriend sitting on the couch. And so the girl's name is Nancy Clark. And she said, so she's showing us around and so she looks over her friend, she goes, her parents are the ones.
Here's Nancy taking pictures of Mercy Hospital and our school and Vizcaya. And here's a little bit closer view of Vizcaya. And you can just see the tops of the buildings of Immaculata over here. And then that's the chapel that's on the grounds of the school, and with Mercy Hospital behind it. And here the girls are taking a picture of a commemorative plaque here in front of the lighthouse. And here's a plaque in front of the lighthouse.
This was a top replaced in 1996. We did a major restoration. Let's head into the shade over here. Through here and swept the park clean.
Did it really?
To get over to the gift shop, they get some pictures of before and after. And tiny end in the corner, just poke around in it till you see it. But there were very few trees left standing, so we replanted with the hammock trees. At the time, were these Australian pines, which really obliterated the whole park. But the hammock trees that we have now hopefully will withstand the next hurricane better than that last group did. We had a ranger that worked at the front gate at the time, and he said you could see ships passing out at sea from the front gate.
Oh my
Nothing.
gosh. I told you it was real. They showed pictures of it.
Wow. There were sustained winds of 160 miles an hour. So pretty much wiped everything. And at that point, they had already been planning to do a restoration of the lighthouse. And they chose that as a rallying point to
do
get
that.
together. So the lighthouse